hidden in Rumpelstiltskin, a 4,000-year-old mystery. Most people think Rumpelstiltskin is simply a children's story about a peculiar dwarf who transforms straw into gold. But buried within this seemingly innocent tale lies evidence of something far more profound, a narrative structure that has survived for over 4 millennia, carrying with it the echoes of humanity's earliest encounters with the supernatural. The framework is deceptively simple, yet deeply unsettling. A desperate father fabricates an impossible claim about his daughter's abilities to impress royalty. The monarch, driven by greed, imprisons the young woman and threatens execution unless she performs the miraculous transformation of worthless straw into precious gold by dawn. Facing certain death, the girl encounters a mysterious figure who possesses the very power she lacks. This being offers salvation, but his price escalates with each intervention. Initially demanding personal trinkets, the helper eventually requires the ultimate payment: her future firstborn child. The bargain sealed in desperation. The transformations occur as promised. When the debt comes due, however, the supernatural creditor offers an unexpected escape clause. The woman can retain her child if she discovers his secret name within 3 days. Through cunning investigation, she uncovers the being's true identity and speaks it aloud. The moment his name crosses her lips, his power breaks entirely. He vanishes, defeated not by force or magic, but by the simple act of being truly known. This narrative skeleton, impossible task, supernatural helper, secret name, represents far more than entertainment. It preserves a memory of humanity's relationship with forces beyond ordinary comprehension. The deep patterns revealed in 2016, researchers from Durham University and the New University of Lisbon applied evolutionary biology techniques to analyze folktales across cultures. They treated stories like living organisms, mapping how narrative elements spread and transformed over time. Their findings revolutionized our understanding of folklore's true age. The tale type containing Rumpelstiltskin, classified as the supernatural helper with secret name, emerged as one of humanity's most ancient story patterns, dating back approximately 4,000 years to the Bronze Age. While specific details varied across cultures, the core structure remained remarkably consistent: the impossible task, the otherworldly assistance, and the power held within a hidden name. This persistence suggests these stories preserve genuine cultural memories, not mere imagination. They encode humanity's earliest attempts to understand and negotiate with forces that seem to transcend natural law. The cosmic thread of fate. The act of spinning itself carries profound symbolic weight throughout human history. Ancient cultures universally recognized spinning as more than domestic labor. It represented the fundamental mechanism of existence itself. The Greek moirai, or fates, spun the thread of every mortal life from birth to death. Clotho spun the thread. Lachesis measured its length, and Atropos cut it when the time came. Similarly, the Norse Norns sat beneath Yggdrasil, the world tree, weaving the destinies of gods and mortals alike. In Vedic tradition, reality itself was conceived as a vast golden tapestry, with threads of fate binding all existence together. These weren't mere metaphors. Ancient peoples understood thread as life's literal representation. The spinning wheel became humanity's tool for participating in cosmic creation, transforming raw material into something useful, something beautiful, something meaningful. When straw transforms into gold through supernatural spinning, we witness the ultimate alchemical process, the transmutation of the mundane into the divine. Gold represented far more than wealth in ancient symbolism. It embodied divinity, purity, and immortality itself. The straw to gold transformation therefore represents not enrichment, but spiritual elevation, the conversion of base matter into sacred substance. This alchemical interpretation long predates medieval attempts to create physical gold from lesser metals. The deeper alchemy concerned spiritual transformation, the refinement of the soul through contact with divine knowledge. Fire, secret wisdom, and hidden names formed the trinity of this ancient practice. The Bronze Age. Masters of fire, the 4,000-year timeframe places Rumpelstiltskin's origins precisely at the dawn of metallurgy. The Bronze Age marked humanity's first successful fusion of two ordinary metals, copper and tin, into something entirely new and revolutionary. For prehistoric communities, metallurgical workers appeared genuinely supernatural. These figures arrived as strangers, covered in soot, carrying tools that could cut through stone and reshape the physical world. They possessed knowledge that seemed to violate natural law. the ability to extract metal from rock through fire, to create implements that granted unprecedented power over the environment. Archaeological evidence suggests these metalworkers maintained deliberate mystery around their craft. They often lived apart from settled communities, speaking different languages, following different customs. Their techniques remained closely guarded secrets, passed down through specialized lineages. Many ancient cultures claimed metallurgy wasn't discovered but revealed, given to humanity by divine beings. The Book of Enoch describes watchers, celestial entities who descended from heaven to teach forbidden arts, including metalworking. Tubal-Cain in Genesis is called the forger of all instruments of bronze and iron, suggesting divine rather than human innovation. Similar figures appear worldwide. Sumerian Kothar wa Kassis, Hittite Hasameli, Norse dwarven smiths, and Slavic Svarog all share common characteristics. They work with fire, possess secret knowledge, live apart from ordinary humans, and eventually disappear as mysteriously as they arrived. The supernatural helper in our tale mirrors these ancient metalworkers precisely. His transformation of straw into gold through mysterious means echoes the seemingly magical conversion of ore into usable metal. His demand for ultimate payment reflects the understanding that divine knowledge comes at divine prices. The power of the true name, the tale's resolution through name discovery, preserves humanity's oldest understanding of linguistic power. Ancient civilizations universally recognized names as more than labels. They were considered the essential code of a being's nature, containing their power, origin, and vulnerability. Egyptian pharaohs possessed secret names carved into sacred texts, believing these hidden appellations determined their eternal survival. Without the secret name, the soul faced obliteration rather than merely death. Kabbalistic tradition teaches that God's names contain the essence of creation itself, too sacred for casual utterance, too powerful for unauthorized use. The Testament of Solomon, though of later composition, preserves this ancient understanding. Solomon's legendary wisdom supposedly stemmed from a divine ring that allowed him to summon supernatural beings. His primary weapon wasn't force, but knowledge, specifically the ability to discover and speak their true names, thereby gaining complete control over them. This reflects a worldview where language itself possessed creative power. In Genesis, God speaks the world into existence through divine words. Egyptian Ptah similarly creates through sacred speech. Language becomes not mere communication, but the fundamental force of reality manipulation. Archaeological evidence for ancient naming practices remains scattered, and interpretations of ritual sites continue to generate scholarly debate. However, the consistency of name power beliefs across isolated cultures suggests these concepts emerged from shared human experiences rather than cultural diffusion alone. When the queen speaks Rumpelstiltskin's name, she performs an act of cosmic significance. She doesn't merely identify him. She unlocks the source code of his being, accessing the spiritual blueprint that grants control over his supernatural abilities. The name itself becomes the key that dissolves his power entirely. The memory-preserved Rumpelstiltskin therefore represents far more than children's entertainment. This tale preserves humanity's earliest memories of contact with beings who possess knowledge beyond ordinary understanding, whether ancient metalworkers, religious figures, or something else entirely. The strange, inhuman names across different versions of this story aren't random fantasy elements. They echo the belief that supernatural beings spoke different languages, divine tongues that followed patterns humans couldn't naturally comprehend. These entities communicated through riddles, chants, and songs that encoded power within their very structure. The helper's demand for the firstborn child reflects the ultimate price for divine intervention, the offering of what was most precious in exchange for impossible assistance. Ancient sacrifice wasn't necessarily cruel, but represented the understanding that supernatural help required supernatural payment. Fire, secret knowledge, and hidden names formed the trinity through which humanity first encountered forces beyond natural law. Whether these were early technologists, religious practitioners, or genuinely otherworldly beings, their influence shaped our deepest storytelling patterns. These narrative structures survived because they encoded essential truths about power, knowledge, and the prices both demanded. They preserved warnings about supernatural bargains while simultaneously revealing the keys to negotiating with forces beyond ordinary comprehension. The straw to gold transformation, achieved through fire and secret knowledge, controlled through the power of the true name. This represents humanity's oldest template for understanding miraculous intervention in desperate circumstances. Perhaps Rumpelstiltskin isn't fiction at all, but cultural memory. A preservation of the time when masters of fire walked among us, speaking in riddles, offering impossible solutions for impossible prices, vulnerable only to those who could discover and speak their true names. These patterns persist because they encode genuine encounters with the extraordinary, whether technological, spiritual, or something else entirely. They remind us that help always comes with a price, power always demands respect, and true names always hold the ultimate key to control. The ancient wisdom survives, hidden within stories we tell children, waiting for those who know how to listen for the deeper truths preserved within familiar tales. Speaking of deeper truths in familiar tales, the story of Jack and the Beanstalk contains equally astonishing secrets about humanity's relationship with giants, magic beans, and vertical journeys to otherworldly realms. The parallels to ancient mythology and forgotten religious practices might surprise you even more than what we've discovered about Rumpelstiltskin today.